of a kind of mental science where we deal with not just the physical thinking, we deal with emotional thinking and some other things. I'll just quickly paint a scenario for us to fully understand what the introduction I want to talk about. You see, some of us have been in teaching for a very long time. We must have come across different types of learners. Some of them, you are sure that you have taught them. You are sure that you have used the best time and the best method. You are sure that after or during the class, you did a kind of formative and summative evaluation, and they were able to give you back what you taught them, even some of them. But when it comes to the normal evaluation and assessment, you discover that they are not able to give you back what you have given them altogether. Sometimes you will even be doing the formative evaluation. During the course of the class, you concentrated, you were nodding their head, you were asking them, do you understand what he was saying? Yes. And then you gave them a short test, and some of them were blank. So it means that something has happened along the process. There are some children that experience have told us that they cannot even learn in the class. Maybe we have some of them here that we don't even know. Learners, if you don't do those corrective measures, it will get to a time when they will not be, practically there won't be solution again, as the educationists have said it. One of it is, if you discover that a child has spelling problem, as simple as that problem is, you want to spell bread, you are writing B-R-E-D. You want to spell ice, you are writing A-Y-E-S, something like that. It is a problem that if you do not solve it to a certain level, there's a probability that that challenge will remain with that child forever. One of it is reading ability, reading skill. If a child fails to learn how to read at a certain time, there's a probability that such child will continue to carry that problem forever. Even some of us, if I write a text or I pass a text to everyone, let us read, you'll see that our reading level will be different. Some people will even have that phobia, So psychology of learning is telling us things that are not physical, things that we observe. Sometimes the emotion of the child should affect the learning of that child. The child is not in the good, right frame of mind. Maybe the father or the mother has just scolded the child before coming to school, and then you are in front of the class giving out information, and at the end of the day, nowhere to be found. Sometimes it could be distraction. Sometimes it could be excitement. Even sometimes, when we are excited or when learners are excited, sometimes it could also block their learning. What I mean is, just imagine the mother of the child in the class has just given birth, and they're having naming ceremony tomorrow. The day before that naming ceremony, there's a probability that child will not learn anything in the class because of the excitement of the party that is already anticipating. That's why some children, when it is in air time or any party time, they will not sleep because they'll be looking forward to that. So, psychology of learning is one of the things that we've been having some meetings recently within the management, and we have looked at. You see that some of these kids that are struggling in class, is that we are not teaching them. You see that the teacher in the class is not working. And we have come to realize that yes, they are working. We are writing lesson notes, we are going to classes, but still maybe we need to look at the level of the psychology of learning. The things that involves around learning. The child must come to the class with a peaceful and a clear mind. The teacher must not be the one that once he enters the class, he never sort of, maybe there's a particular person in the class that the learner does not even want to see or have issue with. So there could be any reason. It could also be that the environment is not conducive for the children. So there are so many things. The character of the child himself could also be the reason why the child is not. So we looked at all of these things. And I want to tell you today that we all need to focus now. Or if we have not been doing it before, we need to focus more on the individuals in our classes now, going forward. Maybe what we do, for some of us that are subject teachers, maybe what we do is just come to class and just teach. Sometimes you don't even study. You discover that a child is not writing in class. What happened? I don't have a pen. And you are sitting down in the class, so you are getting a pen. You discover that the child is moving in the class. You should be able to ask questions. The reason why such child is not flowing with you in the class. So we need to pay more attention now to psychology of learning. You can read a lot of things about it. There are so many theories. This is not a class of education. But so the introduction that what I'm trying to say in essence is that together with the knowledge that we want to pass in class, let us also focus on the emotions of the children and some other aspects as well. The classes. There are times when the environment here, I don't know what used to happen. Somebody just told me last week that it was that's why I used to smell it. There are times when on Thursdays. There are times when this environment will not everywhere will just be smelling. Even to open your food and eat it, So that kind of environment could be a reason why learning will not take place. You know, some people could sometimes they will not be flawed. Maybe they did not wash the knob. You could get to the class and you get seated and you could just be off for that day. So there are so many things around psychology of learning. What those people that propounded different laws are saying is that every aspect of it, the emotional aspect, the environment, the character of the child, even the learners, must be taken care of before learning can take place. That's what we are saying. So when we are saying that the children are not learning in class, what are the reasons? This is what is around psychology of learning. So that's just my introduction for this meeting.